Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Hiking Through the Wonders of Hidden Cortina. So once again, we are in the beautiful region of Veneto, and today's presentation, of course, is promoted as usual by the Italian National Tourism Board of US and Canada. I want to thank, of course, first and foremost, the most important part of this webinar, you, the attendees. You decided to be with us today, and once again, we are very, very grateful and very hopeful that this actually be helpful to learn more about beautiful Italy and in this case, another beautiful destination in the region of Veneto. Now, of course, we have a large contingent of our friends from the US and Canada, and also, once again, our friend from Mexico and Puerto Rico. We're very happy to see you joining the group. So this is the third installment, I believe, yes, the third installment of a multi-part web series of webinars on the region of Veneto. If you have been following us, we have been sort of going through step by step on different beautiful itineraries that this very rich region has to offer to the market. Now, before I go into the actual presentation, we are very eager to do it. As you can see already, our testimonials are ready to go in a beautiful landscape. We want to set the mood for the presentation, and we have a short video introducing you guys to the beautiful region of Veneto. So if we can send out the video, welcome to the next seminar. Great. Once again, this fantastic overview of all the many things that Veneto has to offer. And this is our attempt at sort of showing some of them. Of course, today we are flying into beautiful, beautiful Cortina. So I'm eager to stop talking because our guests, as you can see, are ready to go. Now, let me go through them so we can officially present, and then we go into it. First and foremost, as you can see, they choose just to rub it in our face. Now we are sort of closed up in our apartment, the beautiful landscape. So thank you for that, because that makes us feel already oppressed in our little apartment. So now, starting, of course, from the representative of the Cortina marketing, we have not one but two of the PR and marketing manager. This is such a popular destination that one is not enough; they have to have two. So you can see them. We have both Francesco Cortecolò and, of course, we have Maria Alessandra Montuori. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us. And I can see you're wearing your everyday clothes. You can see that wearing sort of traditional attire, which I really appreciate. But last but not least, of course, we see the real testimonial, the guy that really embodies, in my opinion, even in his face, these beautiful destinations and what the mountains are. We have the Alpine guide, Paolo Tassi. Ciao, Paolo. Thank you for being with us. Hello. Thank you. So, Francesco, I'm getting to you just because you know, doing dry run you started. No, I don't want to respect, but again, beautiful landscape we see on the backdrop. Tell us all about it. We need to hear about Cortina. What can we do? Why it's so beautiful? Take it from here. Thank you very much for being with us, Francesco.
Thank you, Francesco. Thank you, everyone from Anit, for this great opportunity, and thanks everybody who's listening to us. So yeah, as you said, the landscape is pretty amazing. Just like moving around, there's different mountains everywhere.
Yeah.
We are actually at Amalga, which is an alpine farm. It's just a 10 minutes drive from Cortina, and you are in the middle of the meadows. There's some cows over there, but we can't go there because the connection doesn't get there. But it's really a natural ambience, and I think it gives greatly the idea of what, you know, Cortina looks like and the atmosphere. Well, thanks for the presentation. I'll just go briefly through what Cortina is. I guess many of you could maybe already a bit familiar with the destination, but for those of you who are not, Cortina is one of the most famous Italian mountain destinations. It's located in the Dolomites, which is this amazing part of the Alps, which is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And well, it's both a winter and summer destination. People come here in both seasons. They come for skiing in winter, mainly cross country, or, you know, snowshoeing or any snow activity. In the summer, it's more popular for hiking, mountain biking. But, you know, Cortina has also a little bit of lifestyle and heritage to it. So we have fewer skiers, for example, compared to other mountain destinations, not because the ski is not good. Actually, we're having the Ski World Championships next year, so skiing is great here. But that's because, you know, Cortina is also a very nice town. It has a lot of history. It has free museums. It has a lot of shops, a lot of great hotels with amazing spas. So people, you know, when there are mixed groups with skiers and non-skiers, or great hikers and medium hikers, they oftentimes come here because it's a destination where there's a bit to do for everybody, even if you're not just into, you know, going somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'll let the images speak. So if I'll ask you guys to start the video, Cortina quattro stagioni, which means 4
Perfect.
seasons, so that gives you an idea of
All year round. It's an all year round destination. Ready to go.
exactly.
Absolutely. All right. That pretty much sets it. Wow.
Well, yeah, as you can see, it's really an all-year destination, but in this meeting, we're going to talk a bit about some summer activities, especially related to hiking. So in the last few months, we've had a lot of time to rethink our strategy and go through, you know, what are the real core values of Cortina. And we found that 2 of these values are exploration and authenticity. Cortina is a real destination. It's not purpose-built. The town has been here for centuries, probably 8 or 9 centuries. So there's a lot of history and tradition. And exploration is what brought people here for the first time. Like, first tourists were coming here in the 19th century to explore the Dolomites, to climb, to hike around, to find new peaks, to find hidden valleys. And we think hiking is a great way to explore. It's a great way to get in touch with nature and being the slowest way, like the slowest type of tourism, because you stay in town, but then you hike around every day in a different area. It really gives you the opportunity to take in all the beauty, to take in all the tradition, all the real experiences, all the little things. And we think this is something that is important all the time, but especially at these times after and during all that we've been through. People, we feel, want to go back to something really authentic, slow, and related to nature, and that gives you freedom. So we've been working to create some new products and also to enhance something that was already existing related to hiking. So we selected a series of hikes, and we did that, and that's very important to us, together with the natural park, because we want people to see famous spots, but we also want people, you know, to be spread around, not to concentrate everybody in the same place, also for wildlife and also for a better experience for the tourists. So we identified some hikes, we grouped them, we themed them, hikes not to miss, or hikes to lakes and waterfalls, and so on. If I can get the screen sharing, I'll just show
Sure,
you
of course.
briefly an example. I'll show you. Okay. You should be seeing my screen now.
Not yet?
Not yet. Still no?
No, I haven't seen it yet. So what you're showing us is
Okay,
basically so the details regarding to this project that you're creating.
yeah.
There we go.
Basically,
Now I can see it.
we renovate. Okay, so there you go. We renovated the hiking section of the
Mm-hmm.
website.
Yep.
If
Oh
you go
wow.
there, I'll give an example of the place where we are now,
Yep.
which is
I'm afraid you have some connection issue. Francesco, you there?
de Paru. So
Okay. Hmm. Francesco, are you there?
well, I think
Are you there?
let's
I can see you, but I
just
can.
go back
Yeah.
to the video, because I think the connection is not good enough. I'll just tell you.
Even your voice comes a little bit almost pixelated. Are you okay there?
Can you stop the video sharing? I'll just speak.
Sure, of course. All right.
Okay, good. Can you hear me now? Is it
Yeah,
any
it's just a little
better?
bit better. I guess it's
Okay,
absorbing too
good.
much of your.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
we are outside and apparently the connection is not good enough. But anyways, we renovated the section and we put together some hikes, and we put them also on this app, which is called FatMap. So it's integrated in our website, and when you open the hike on FatMap, you can see where you are. You can use it while you're hiking to move around. Of course, if it's something difficult or long, we still suggest to go with a mountain guide. But you know, it's a good instrument to see what the valley has to offer, because you have a visualization like Google Maps. So
Yeah.
you see the valley, see some hikes, you see how long they are, the level of difficulty. You can do a sort of flyover video, so you get a sense of where you're going. And we think that, I mean, we hope that's going to encourage people to explore more some of the areas that are less known, and also to take up less maps, because if you can just use your mobile, we print so many maps every summer that we're trying to cut the numbers.
So I have a
So that,
question for you, Francesco. I didn't ask you in a dry run. I don't know if you can answer it. The app, once I download it, can I use it there offline when I'm on the path, or I have to be online to use the
you
app?
can use it You have to use it online if you have a free account. That's usually good if you do the easy hikes because they are usually not too far from the center. If you want to
Gotcha.
be able to download it, download the track and do it offline, you have to subscribe. But
Ah.
actually, FatMap is less expensive than most other apps that we've seen, so it's still a good option.
Because I think you're showing it right there. Because on the map, one of the trade-off of coming up there with you is just basically sort of having this cleansing with internet and that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that that some of the stuff actually are offline, just because you don't want to be left. That's awesome, perfect. Thank you. That sounds really interesting, especially make it so user friendly on being able to walk around and not feeling that you are sort of left on your own.
Yeah, we're sort of trying to empower people to
Yeah.
discover Cortina more also, and to become curious at least and find out a bit by themselves. And then one thing that we worked on this summer again with the idea of enabling people to have a real experience is the Cortina Dolomiti Ultra Tracking. I'll ask you guys if you can try and launch a quick polling.
Yes. Let's see if they know what it is, and let's see if they. So at this point, like we usually do, we just try to test your attention, if you're paying attention to what we're doing. So you want to do the ultra tracking question first?
Yeah, well, there's two about it. The first
Yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah.
second one, please.
Okay, so go to the second one. Okay, the ultra tracking one. Okay, perfect. Done. So first question: how long is the Cortina Dolomite ultra tracking? So this is a good question. Of course, it's not to test your knowledge, but just to give you really a sense what we're talking about. So it's either 76 kilometers, 47 miles, it's 132 kilometers or 82 miles, 92 kilometers, 57 miles, 43 kilometers, 27 miles, or 58 kilometers, which is 36 miles. Let's see how many of you are answering right now. Okay, I have about 40% of you, and I mean, there's a strong opinion on a couple of answers. I give a few more seconds. Regardless, it's still a pretty long trekking, I should say, because even the the smallest one is still 27 miles, which in the mountain it's a lot of trekking. So I have most of you had answer. So I give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! I'm closing now the poll and see what the answers are. So we have a good 40% that went for 132 kilometers, and 36% went for 92. Then we have the other answer. Which one is the correct one, Francesco?
It's 132 actually, so most people were right.
Got it right. Okay.
Yeah, well
So they
done.
know. So we didn't. Good, because that's it. But either one of them. I mean, even 76% that really understand how long it is. So it looks like pretty, dead on. You want to show the other question that we have?
Yeah, let's go with question number 1.
Perfect. All right, let's see if you know this. Now, you've done all this trekking, you must be exhausted. So trekking around Cortina, sleeping, mountain lodges, which type of drink actually try to restore your body and soul, okay? So is the cumin grappa, is the what's called bombardino, is the spritz, or the blueberry juice? So grappa, bombardino, spritz, or blueberry juice? I have no idea myself, so because I don't drink alcohol. So again, there's a pretty that there seems to be almost evenly divided between a couple of answers. I have most of the people are answering already. Maybe they really like it. Okay, one is actually gaining momentum. It looks like I'm commenting a horse race. And now we have the first one. Okay, so we are almost there. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. Almost all of you have answered the question. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. We close the poll and we show it to our presenter. Let me see. Share. Here we go. Perfect. So 41% says cumin grappa, 27% bombardino, and then we have the other spritz and blueberry juice. Which one is the correct one?
It's cumin grappa. You guys are too good.
All right. So a nice grappa will restore your. Which is nice. It's a nice way to put it. Perfect. So
Absolutely.
we
It's pretty strong.
now grappa. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's well, grappa is very typical of the Veneto region altogether. And cumin is something that you can find it wild around here in the meadows of Cortina. So traditionally, it was used to, and it's still used to flavor grappa. It has a very good taste, and it's great for digestion. Like cumin itself, even if you just boil it with water and drink it, is great. But if you put it in grappa, it's even better.
Everything put in grappa is better, isn't it? That's the kind of the point.
So I
Go
hope
ahead.
the question helped everybody get a bit of the sense of what the Cortina Ultra Trekking looks like. So it's a multi-day trek, 7 days and 6 nights. So you hike around and you're gonna see some of the hot spots of the Dolomites, like the Tre Cime or Three Peaks, the Cinque Torri or Five Towers, Lake Serapis, those places that you have to see if you come here. But at the same time, you're gonna see some places that are a bit off the beaten track. So there are some days where you hike in places, I wouldn't say that you're gonna meet nobody, but nearly, it's places that only locals know, especially some areas. So it gives you a bit of both. It's a very full experience. You get a lot of contact with the nature and with the beauty of the Dolomites. And then you sleep in at mountain lodges. Mountain lodges are something amazing in the Dolomites. Here in Cortina, most of them, I would say probably all of them, are family run. So they're very different compared to mountain lodges in North America. They tend to be smaller, here a bit more traditional. It's a place where you definitely find a very local and traditional spirit in the people and also in the food and in the drinks. So if you do this whole experience, I think it's a great way to get an idea and a full experience of the Dolomites and of Cortina and of this part of the Veneto region. Of course, 1 week is pretty long, but you don't have to do it all. You can decide to do 2 or 3 days, the first 3 days or the last 3 days or whatever. You never get too far from the town of Cortina, so if you organize, you can always find a place where you could get, a taxi or a transfer to go back to
We've
town.
been back to the cool.
This is something for good hikers, and we definitely recommend a mountain guide. There's 2 mountain guide schools that are offering this program in Cortina. One is Cortina 360, and one is Guida Cortina, which Paolo is part. And I have to thank Paolo particularly because he is the one, together with Alex, a colleague of ours, who put together this idea of the Dolomiti Ultra Trekking, Cortina Dolomiti Ultra Trekking. And it's crazy. It's been the most visited section of our website. We had a tremendous return from Italian media. Really, it's been on TV, and I mean, we thought it was a good idea, but we didn't think it was such a good
Was that
idea.
good?
Yeah, I think it means that we touched upon something that people are looking for in this right moment.
I agree. 100%.
So the other thing that I wanted to bring your attention to is a program called Hidden Cortina. I'm going to let Paolo talk about it, but just before, I would like to show everybody the video called Croda da Lago.
Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at it. So if it works, go ahead. This is the wrong one, isn't it?
No,
Wasn't it?
it's fine. That's
This one here. This one
actually
here. Perfect.
either option was good at the moment. So the video that you've just seen is not about hiking, it's more about climbing, but it really gives you the idea of what some places look like here. That's just an amatorial video. It's a video that a friend of mine made with a drone. So it shows that wherever you go in the Ampezzo Valley, which is the Valley of Cortina, there is such beautiful hidden places that you just need the right person to take you there, and the mountain guides are the best person for that. So putting together the beauty of the place and the need that people have now more than ever to go to some unexplored places, the idea of Hidden Cortina came up, and I'll let Paolo talk about it.
Okay, Paolo, you're on. Thank you very much. I see that you have a rope on your shoulder. I don't know if that's something that you have every day, probably just for today. But thank you very much. A beautiful backdrop once again. And I know, talking about offline guide, probably you are the quintessential of this specifically. So tell us all about the hidden cortina. Ciao, Paolo. Thank you for being with us. No, you're gone. We can't hear you, but let me see. Are you muted? But yes, you are muted. You have to unmute yourself. You should see a microphone that is red. It should be green. Try now. Prova adesso a parlare. Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
Prova a parlare.
Okay. Okay.
Perfetto. Ciao, ciao Paolo. Hi.
Ciao to everybody. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
And welcome to Cortina. This is a beautiful Crodo del Lago in my back. So the idea of eating Cortina comes from this crazy period we are passing, and it's because some of the trail they become too overcrowded, too many people, and it's impossible to maintain the distance between humans. So we start to study and discover new territory, first just on the map, and then we start to work and chop some woods to open our land to everybody. And now we are talking about some cautions approximate, because we have to think about where we are society, we are men, we need to do something together, we need to hike together, we need to climb together, of course. So the idea of the Cortina come from this original original plan. And then now we have a lot of new trails. We have some old trail reopen it, and it's fantastic because all the time you change your perspective, you see the mountain from another point of view, and say, wow, this is fantastic again and again. Yeah.
Perfect. So the hidden cortina, can you share with us a little bit more about, one of your favorite places or the things that, our travel agents need to be aware of when they sort of pinpoint places that the client should be seeing?
Favorite place is always the next. It's impossible to have one. It's a surprise, because if I tell you a name or I show you a picture of the place, is nothing, because a trip in the mountain is not just a view or a top of the mountain. It's not just a climb. It's to share adventure with someone, with some people. This is more human affected, human come from the heart. And when you're in the mountain, this has happened. This is magical moment.
All right. So like we talked during the dry run, one thing I'm always very curious when it comes to hiking or to trekking for that matter, it's always, about, it's the seasonal aspect of it, especially because we're talking with travel agents, where even during the dry run, we sort of discussed that they have to understand when it's the best time to send their clients over, what it's better suited. If I have to ask you, Paolo, when is the sort of the perfect time to come and do a great hike without, have been influenced too much by the weather or by the sort of the climate in general?
One of the most beautiful seasons for me for hike is autumn. When you come here September, October, or even November, if it's not raining or snowing, it's fantastic, because the change of the forests are changing, the color of the forests are changing, and there is not too many people. Of course, it's cold, but you are better than I now, and you just go for hike. And the best time of the day is the morning, early morning.
Early morning.
First, because the light is much better, and second, because it's safe. Of course, in the afternoon, sometimes storms arrive, clouds arrive, rain arrive, and it's dangerous, especially when you have lightning or some thunderstorms. So always start early in the morning. Yeah.
No, I agree. In fact, I share with you that, I came to visit you, not exactly Cortina, but in around, and somebody was kind enough to wake us up around 5 o'clock in the morning to start this nice hike, and starting almost what it seemed like to be in the middle of the night. And then 2 hours later, you start seeing opening up and sort of seeing the sunrise. It's absolutely breathtaking. There's really nothing quite like it. And I have to say, especially where you are there, the peak that you see in the backdrop in the morning, they have this really absolutely unique color that makes it absolutely magical. And I have to say, it was one of the best things I've ever done. Even though I'm not a mountain guy, I can't ski for anything. I'm afraid of heights, but I enjoyed it tremendously because it's really, like you said, it's something extraordinary. Even the sound of the cows in the distance and that kind of stuff, it's absolutely magical. So I absolutely feel what you're saying about starting the hike early in the morning and then going up on this beautiful peak where you see all around. Thank you, Paolo. So why do you have a rope with you? What do you do with that?
The rope is important for us as a guide. I take a rope because it's nice, I think. And also I like to tell the story. Happened yesterday. You know, we have guests from everywhere in Cortina. People stay in a camping, people stay in 5-star hotel or something like that. And yesterday in the morning, I climbed a mountain with 2 girls, beautiful girls, fancy girls. And we arrived on the top. And to take a picture, in the top is beautiful, fantastic view, 360 view all over around the Dolomites. I say, okay, now you can take the rope, because the guide usually takes the rope up and they pull the clients up. Say, take the rope, put the rope like this, and we take a picture. And they say, oh, this is heavier than my pashmina.
Yes, it is.
This happened yesterday.
Fantastic. That's perfect. That's exactly right. So thank you, Paolo. So Francesco, you have a segue? You have more that we need to know about Cortina?
Well, there is actually a lot more, but we really wanted to give you a sense of the exploration and the contact with nature that you can get here. You know, we think Cortina can give you really a whole encompassing sense of well-being because, well, beauty is healing for the soul. I really believe it. There's so many beautiful places around Italy, around the Alps, but Cortina is really a special valley. I mean, everybody who comes here recognizes it. It's such a wide and unique valley. Then, you know, you can do a lot of sports. You can hike, you can mountain bike, you can breathe the fresh air. You can eat great natural and traditional food. You can go to the spa. You can try high mountain wellness like a wooden hot tub. So there's a lot of activities that really we think help you get back to your well-being, especially if you take them slowly with a program of hiking, for example. So we thought that would be a good activity to present. But anyways, I can present as much as I want, but the best thing is for you.
I don't want to stretch it. I was like also like when we discuss, considering that we have in mind our listener and especially the American market as a whole, let's say Canada, Mexico, and the United States, and is the fact also that Cortina isn't just another extraordinary place, beautiful at the foothills of arguably some of the most beautiful mountains in the world, but also Cortina itself enjoyed sort of this prominent sort of position in tourism in Italy first, and then of course for the rest of Europe and then the world, to be a place where pretty much anything your client, and I'm now talking about the travel agents who would ask, is available, because it's really one of those top places that belongs not just to Italy but to the rest of the world, and sort of so your clients can pretty much access anything. Like even Paolo mentioned and you mentioned, you can have a 5-star luxury experience if that's what you are into it, and also all the most sort of bells and whistles. They know how to do tourism right. And also we didn't touch upon it, but I wish you would do that sort of briefly. There's a big cultural life. One of the things about some of these villages, you go there's like mountain villages, they're very cute, but after 20 minutes you're bored to death because there's really nothing going on, because it's mainly about connecting with the life there. Cortina is different because it has a different life and history, and so if you can to touch quickly on that, and also on the fact if there indeed are annual events that makes it great to be in Cortina for that specific, besides of course the non-sports event, but if there are an annual thing that makes it even more interesting to be there, if you can sort of briefly tell us about that.
Yeah, definitely. So Cortina is also, as I briefly mentioned, a lifestyle destination. So the town center is really amazing. You have this long pedestrian road, and we have a shopping street that is rivaled only by St. Moritz in the Alps. There's so many shops, from boutique shops, like more local things, to the big brands like Valentino and Gucci, especially Italian brands, obviously. There's also a lot of arts and, museums I mentioned, but also there's a lot of art galleries. There's many art events also throughout the years that our galleries organize. The hotel sector is thriving at the moment because we're having the Ski World Championships next year, and then the Olympics, Winter Olympics, with Milan in 2026. So there's a lot of work, renovation going on. Some hotels that were closed are being renovated, and we definitely see a tendency towards the higher part of the market. So most of them will be 4 or 5 stars. We have been welcoming guests for more than 150 years here in Cortina, so we know how to do it. And regarding the events, I would just suggest maybe two, one for the winter and one for the summer. The one for the winter is the Cortina Fashion Weekend, which is around the weekend of the, oh, I don't know it in English. Sant'Ambrogio.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Well,
where's the number?
it's the weekend around the 8th of December, which
Okay.
is like officially the beginning of the winter season. You usually can ski already before, but that's really the launch of the real winter season. And there's a lot of fashion events in Cortina, a lot of bars, wine bars do different things. The shops open up, they offer in aperitifs inside. They oftentimes have models or presentations of new collections. So you go around Cortina and there's a lot of different small events around town, live music at bars. It's really the town is really lively. There's many people doing so many nice things, music, aperitifs. It's really a great kickoff for the winter season. And
Perfect.
then in the summer, something a bit different. It's called Festa della Bandes in the local language. So it's the marching bands festival. We have an amazing marching band here in Cortina, wearing the traditional dress. And on the last Sunday of August, there's a whole week dedicated to music. So every day there will be a concert by the local band and by a band that is invited from somewhere else, usually Italy or Austria. And then on the last Sunday, on the last day of the week, um, there's a lot of different bands, usually like 15, 20 bands. They do a concert all together in the morning, then they stay in different areas of the town center playing music, and then they do the final concert all together. And it's really amazing. You see so many different traditional dresses from Italy, Austria, Germany, but sometimes people came over from Brazil or Argentina. It's really an amazing day to explore a real authentic side of Cortina.
Perfect. No, thank you. I think this is one of the few times that so I take an extra minute just to really have people understanding the value of this specific town versus sort of the destination as a whole. It's a small town with an international feel to it. It's a town that, because historically has been sort of the destination from so many different countries, of course, starting from Northern Europe and now on the other side of the pond, as we say. But it really has this sort of international brand. So it's a really quite a unique experience that puts together like all the elements that you already mentioned in terms of the wellness and sort of the, of course, going around and see the sights and all that, skiing in the winter, all that, but also this cultural one, which is definitely unique and it's only few places on Alpine that you can actually do that and really not having to compromise on anything. So I'm gonna go now, if it's okay with you, with few questions that we have received. And once again, I'll try to read most of them and see if I can get through it. But I don't want to take too much of your time, guys. So let me see. I'll open it up and see what do we have here. All right. Oh, lots of questions. Okay, so very quickly, this is an open question. See if you can do it quickly. Ask someone to speak about the great food and wine of the region, please. So somebody's begging us to learn about the food. So please go ahead. If you can just mention very quickly what you would expect to eat in beautiful Cortina.
Okay, I'll take this one. If I have to pick one dish, I would pick casonzier, which is my favorite local dish, and it's also the most local. Casonzier are a sort of moon-shaped, half moon-shaped ravioli, and the filling is with beetroot. So you find this kind of ravioli throughout the Dolomites, but with beetroots only in Cortina, and they're great, served with butter, melted butter, and poppy seeds on top. They're great because they have this sweet, salty taste, and it's really unique. And wine, well, there's no grapes in Cortina because it's too high, even though someone is actually trying to grow grapes. We haven't seen any wine yet, but we're crossing fingers. But we are blessed by the proximity of two great wine areas. One is to the north, South Tyrol, and the other one, which is even closer and probably even better, is Veneto, of course, with the Prosecco region being very close to us, just about 1 hour by car. So you get a lot of Prosecco in Cortina, and all different drinks and different kinds of Prosecco. It's everywhere. It's really part of the daily life.
Perfect. So I have a couple of questions. So I'm going to knock it off with you. Somebody says that if the mountain and the sea is behind the two different sets of presents is the same, the answer is, of course, yes, because we just saw, Maria just moving from one to the next. So she's not a regular one. So yes, they're very close by and it's exactly the same amount.
We're actually very close.
Okay,
so
perfect.
It's the same one.
So the other one is they're asking if there are 4 and 5-star properties in the area. If somebody answer to that, which probably.
Yes, there are several. We have at the moment 4 5-star hotels. We are expecting a couple more in 1 to 2 years, and there is, I don't know, about probably 15 4-stars in Cortina alone.
Oh wow! So once again, now last question is a little bit. How do? Okay. Somebody's actually interested. This is for Paolo. They want to book you. I think you just got some business out of it. So if somebody is interested in in getting in touch with you because they have client, Paolo, can they contact you directly? Do they have a chance to do it? You have to through somebody else, Paolo.
No, they call the company usually. We have a company called Webinar Cortina. Because the guys are always in the mountain. We never answer the phone or email. We are terrible. Best is to have a secretary in the office, and the best is to talk over there. She's our boss.
So yes, so the people just anchor that. We will give you all the contact information of the company. You can get in touch with Paolo. Wow, now coming now. They ask you, last but not least, Francesco just mentioned the pasta, and they asked me, how do you spell it? The special pasta. How do you spell it?
This is an exercise. Casunziei.
Perfect. We will send it out. So with this one, I want to thank you guys because I won't take too much of your time. I believe we have one last video, Francesco. Am I right?
Well, yes, you want to send it, and then I'll just say one word.
Let's close with this nice last video, if it's okay with you, Francesco. And then we say goodbye. Okay. So yes, let's send the last video. What was that? What lake is that? This is amazing. What was that?
It's Lake Gadina, which is very close to the town center. And I like that video again from a friend of mine because it shows you how you can find hidden treasures just in the middle of the woods or wherever. It's just trees, 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 and then you have this amazing lake with a restaurant on it.
I cannot thank you enough. Paolo, you are once again so the epitome of this place, and also of course Francesco and Maria. Thank you for dressing up for us. I know that this is probably not what you do every day, but we appreciate the effort, and the places are incredible. So thank you very much. This of course concludes our webinar. To all the attendees, you will be receiving a survey. Give us a sense of what you think of this presentation. If anything has to change, we want to try to serve you as best as possible. And lastly but not least, of course, thank to all my colleagues. This is a cooperative effort. There's a lot of people behind it to try to make this work. Well, of course, I'm thanking the office in Toronto, and with them, of course, Salvatore and Sabrina. I'm thanking our colleague from Los Angeles, Manuela and Fabrizio, and of course, the New York office, Caterina, Cosmo, and Marzia. Thank you very much. Goodbye. See you in the next one. Ciao.
Ciao, grazie.